Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yeah, and choo-choo.
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, for so much for joining us. A tremendous amount. I couldn't even get it out. I'm so excited about it. All aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station. Let's do this. We have an absolutely insane episode, as usual. This is crazy. Everyone will be surprised by this episode.
Great.
Put it that way. Very quickly here, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com and get your tickets for the 2023 live show.
It's going to be crazy.
All the live shows, the whole tour. If you're listening a week early, then they haven't come out yet. They come out the 29th. You can get the early pre-sale, and they go from there. If you're listening when it comes out normally, they're for sale. Go buy them.
Yeah,
there you go. Very quickly go through the dates. February 10th, Cleveland. February 11th, St. Louis. March 23rd, 24th, Seattle, Washington. March 25th, Portland, Oregon. May 5th, Detroit. May 6th, Pittsburgh. July 15th, San Diego. July 28th, Salt Lake City. July 29th, Denver. August 11th, Minneapolis. August 12th, Chicago. September the 8th, Atlanta. September the 9th, Charlotte. Friday, October 6th, Philadelphia. October 7th, Washington, D.C. Dates still to come, New York, Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix. Those are coming soon.
Yes.
Get in there and get your tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yeah.
It's all in there, all the instructions. We cannot wait. Very excited. 2023 going to be everywhere. Look at us.
It's going to be our year. I hate when people do that.
It's going to be our year. That's how I'm trying to obviously be. Look at us. Yeah, it's silly. We're excited, though. We are excited.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, we're still surprised and shocked whenever we show up and there's lots of people and we're like, holy crap, people actually want to see us. Hey, look at that. So thanks for doing that for us. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus stuff. And boy, do we have tons of bonus stuff. Anybody $5 or above, you get access to not only the whole back catalog, like 150 episodes to catch up on of bonus stuff, but also every other week you're going to get 2 new episodes.
Right.
1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder, and you get it all. This week for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about all of the terrible accusations on Ben Roethlisberger over the years. Yeah. He's like a big Super Bowl hero and all that, and man, has he been accused of some nasty stuff. So
yeah.
We'll get into that. And for Small Town Murder, it's back. The prisoner dating game is here. Yes. Oh, boy, we love that. People have been clamoring for another one, and we are excited to deliver it for you.
Let's do it again.
Going to line up the bachelors and the bachelorettes. The only thing they have in common, they are all incarcerated and all convicted of violent felonies. And Jimmy's going to pick one of each, not knowing anything about them besides what they've chosen to tell him in the dating profile. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. Get there now. That said, I think it's time, everybody, to sit back, clear the lungs. I don't care where you are. Who cares where you are? Where are you? In traffic? That's fine. Grocery store? Shout it out from the frozen food aisle. Clear the lungs and shout, Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy, shall we?
Okay.
Let's go on a trip here.
Let's go on a trip.
We're going on down south today, Jimmy. We're going to Booneville, Mississippi.
Oh,
which
Booneville.
sounds made up.
Yeah.
Where's he running off to? Booneville, Mississippi? That sounds like just the euphemism for the sticks is what that sounds like.
Is it named after Daniel?
No, it's sort of a relation. We'll get into it here. Maybe, yeah.
Rumored.
Northeastern Mississippi, this is, way up in the northeastern corner. It's about, the closest major city is Memphis, actually. It's about 2 hours to Memphis, about 4 hours to our last Mississippi episode, which was Hattiesburg, which is nowhere near here. Yeah. That was A Most Evil Couple, that one, which was
way down south.
Nasty episode. Yeah. Here, this town, population's 8,400. And about half of that is college students because there's a college here, that will figure prominently in this episode. Median household income, it's all retired people and college kids. So not a lot of income here in this type of thing. Median
college kids and annoyed people.
Yeah, and people annoyed with college kids. Maybe they're just trying to suck their energy, live through them. Median household income, $28,594. Median home cost, though, $97,000. Very low. So very low here. Nickname, the City of Hospitality.
Is it, though?
Who knows? I mean, if old people aren't this episode's not about old people murdering college kids, so I guess so.
Yeah, that's very hospitable of them to allow them to be there.
I would say the land of Booneville was bought by B.B. Boone, who I guess B.B. Boone was named for, I guess, one of the settlers. He's a descendant of Colonel Reuben Holman Boone, who was a, quote, relative of Daniel Boone, he says. So
hilarious.
Who knows?
And he rode that to his grave.
Absolutely. There's a town named after my family. Would you like to see a
descendant of Daniel Boone's penis?
You know that. Yeah, how about it? This penis descends from Daniel Boone. It's a rugged outdoor penis.
Do you like to taste a Boone penis?
It's a little. It's kind of rugged, like bark on the outside, but once you get into it, it's great. It was originally planned as just part of the railroad. It's just a town that they needed a town next to the railroad, as a lot of these towns seem to be. It grew pretty rapidly, and then just as the city incorporated in 1861, the Civil War happened and slowed everything down.
Damn it.
A lot of Civil War things happened through here. No battles or anything like that, but there was always like an army advancing through it and an army retreating this way through it. So a lot of things happened to a lot of burning and raiding and things like that. So that's
I just
tough.
see a lot of people being woken up in the middle of the night with horses running through town.
That's what happened.
Each direction.
Torches and horses going, oh, shit.
Torches and horses going one way, other way coming back, unloaded weapons, and, and scared faces.
Well, yeah, scared faces. Some of the people probably hoping it was one army going one way and others hoping it was one going the other way, I would say, as residents of this town would go at that point. So Booneville is home to Northeast Mississippi Community College, which is it's a junior college. It's the 10th largest community college by enrollment in the state. And this town, Booneville, is one of 21 certified Mississippi retirement cities. I don't know who's certifying that. I don't know what the ramifications of that are. I don't know what the guidelines.
We stock tapioca and chocolate.
We don't know. The reviews of this town are wild. We got to get to this here. Here is a 5-star, perfect review. It's just they're saying something very nice. Friendly town. The only thing is it's a college town, and they consider it a retirement community. Need more things for the students to do to occupy their time. Fair enough. This is 5 stars, mind you. Okay, this next review. I don't know what. Okay, this is a 5-star Yelp review. This isn't Yelp, by the way. This is a different website. So
they wrote that.
The only problem with this town is the 5,628 Karens. Okay. So most of the town is Karens, 5 stars.
They counted them all. That's
I
nice.
love it other than that, but my wife won't let me come back because we got mugged and shot at in a 5-minute period. Well, that's not 5-star behavior, I don't think. It gets better. I was also 11 a.m., and I was sitting in my yoga class in front of the police station. They hate turkey hunters. There are plenty of turkeys in Alabama or Georgia. Do not come to Mississippi to turkey hunt. If you do, it isn't our fault if you get shot. Thank you for your time. 5 stars. What the fuck?
5 stars. They shot at me while I was at yoga. They caught me slipping at yoga.
That's somebody. That sounds like they were drunk driving while they wrote that review. Not just driving, not just drunk and driving at the same time writing that review. Here's 1 star. Can't be worse than that. But meth and pill enthusiasts as far as the eye can see, and not a cop that cares in sight. They are too busy harassing real criminals that run red lights or forget to wear seatbelts.
Oh, okay, sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm. Yeah. It doesn't show up in a Yelp review much or a niche review. Locals aren't too keen to mind their own business and make it a point to make your business their own. Things to do in town include spreading gossip and rumors, being hateful, and going to church on Sunday.
I love this.
This is hilarious. I love this reviewer. The town is mighty proud of its football team and fast food restaurants. If you find yourself driving through Booneville, just keep driving. Wow, that is...
This is fascinating. And they hate turkey hunters, James.
Let's have one more 1-star review. What do you say?
Yeah.
The sense of community is lost. People here are not trusting or friendly, for good reason. If I had to describe the people of the town, I could sum it up in 3 words: socks and flip-flops. One of them's hyphenated. Well, one of them's hyphenated, so
I guess,
technically.
yeah.
Socks and flip-flops. He's hyphenated anyway.
Yeah.
You have guys constantly yelling at women and revving up engines. That's the sweet serenade of this town is vroom, vroom. Get over here, bitch. Vroom, vroom. What are you doing? Get in the goddamn car. Vroom, vroom. Come on now. Jesus Christ. My dick ain't gonna get any harder. Vroom, vroom. That's what's happening.
Nice tits.
Wow. And the women here range from fresh out of church to extremely trashy. I despise going out to get groceries. Okay, that's where we are.
Fresh out of church to
extremely trashy. And the things to do, okay, fall festival. Who cares? This involves, what is this, a pumpkin contest, a turnip green cook-off. I don't know what's happening over here. Queen of the New Year, which is a children's pageant, and there's babies and pictures of babies. It's creepy as shit, and then not much else to do. That's the whole thing. Okay, so that said, I need to spend extra time on the reviews because holy shit, this town is... I want
You can
to
get
read
your
all of
baby
them.
judged here, or you can hunt turkeys and then get caught slipping while you're in downward dog. That's it.
By a trashy lady who just left church. Perfect. This town is mwah.
I love it so much.
That said, let's talk about a murder here.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's go back in time, Jimmy. Let's go back to Marty McFly days is what we're doing here. 1985. Let's get into this here. I think it was supposed to be 85 in the movie.
Right.
Anyway, I think it came out in 86, but whatever.
I watched it real recent, so it was 2000 something.
So 2021, you're saying?
That's what it was.
Yeah. October 8th, 1985, 2:30 a.m. In a dorm in the Northeast Mississippi State College, as it was called back then. Now it's called Community College. Back then it was called NMSC. Okay.
You're skipping the E for Northeastern? You're just going with the N?
Yeah, Northeast. It's not Northeastern. It's just Northeast. It's one word, Northeast.
All right.
Yeah, Northeast is a word if you're talking about a state. So Northeast Mississippi State College. There we go. 2:30 a.m. There's a young lady named Amy Wheeler coming in. Okay, she's in the like the drill band, the drill and band. I guess teams or whatever they would be have their own dorm. So this is where they are. So everybody in here, all the young ladies in here are all in like drill and band and all that kind of stuff.
Sick. Okay.
So that's what's going on. So Amy Wheeler comes in at 2:30. She's had a long night. You know, it's college. She's out partying. Everybody's been partying. She gets
homecoming's coming up.
Oh God, they gotta make a float for Christ's sake or whatever you do for homecoming. I have no idea what happens down there. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure they have some routine to fucking deal with, right? They got to figure out how to twirl something or do some shit. They're the ones with the wooden, like the fake rifles, and like they dress like.
The ROTC is the drill team.
No, that's not. They're wooden. It's just to do flip the things around and do like
But it's ROTC-esque, I guess.
I suppose, yeah. ROTC, I think they actually teach you how to shoot guns. They don't give you like a wooden gun and they go flip this around, twirl it. Now we're going to do a 1-2, buckle my shoe, and do a spin move. Yeah, that's ROTC right there.
You see the baton team? We're going to do that with wooden guns.
Them Arabs going to be scared shitless when we get over there fighting like this. I'll tell you what, buddy, this is going to be something. They see that move and be like, oh, shit, they did a twirl and a loop-de-floop. I'm running. That's what's going to happen. And then they revved their truck up and went, come on, sweetheart, let's go. So she arrives at the room and discovers that her door is locked. The door to the dorm is locked, and she forgot her key.
Oh,
she's
no.
like, son of a bitch, 2:30 in the morning. So
foiled.
She's trying to knock light because it can't be like banging on the door at 2:30 in the morning. She's got a roommate, so she's hoping, fingers crossed, that roommate's inside sleeping and not out with her boyfriend or out partying also. So she's like, shit, okay. She knocks a little bit, no answer. She's like, son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. So lucky for her, this room has an adjoining room. All the rooms are two like bedroom areas with an adjoining bathroom that like a Brady Bunch bathroom where connects them in the middle. So she goes next door to the adjoining room, knocks on the door, hoping someone's awake in there so she can just go through the bathroom and go into her room.
Brilliant.
So that's what she's doing. And she does. So she knocks on the door, and her next door neighbor and the adjoining suite mate, Stephanie Lynn Alexander, she's 21 and she's a third-year student there. And she's a music education major also on the drill team. Yeah. So she lives next door. She answers the door and says, go ahead. I don't give a shit, obviously. Like, what do I care?
Do your thing. Yeah.
Do your thing. They're all on the Northeast Tiger Marching Band. That's what they're all in. So that's what they're called.
Tigers, too.
The Tigers. Stephanie is a French horn player. Oh. That's her thing that she does. She had moved. Stephanie just moved to the East Dormitory when school opened in the fall. And, so she was hanging out there all the time anyway because she was in the music department. So Stephanie, the next door neighbor, French horn chick over here, she's like half asleep, opens the door. So, Amy Wheeler walks in and Amy Wheeler goes through the adjoining bathroom into her room to get into her room there. She enters the room and it's one room with two beds. It's not like they each have their own bedroom. So her and her roommate share the room. She sees, even in there's only a little bit of light coming through from the bathroom, she sees her roommate there on her bed. First thing she sees is she sees some skin, like she's partially nude on the bed. So she's like, oh shit, like she doesn't know if there's guys there or what.
Right.
Then she notices, and Alexander too, the French horn player, she's right behind the roommate there. She notices that there's blood on the pillow.
Oh.
And that her roommate here, Stacy is her roommate, Stacy Pinnell. She notices that her roommate, not only is there blood on the pillow, but Stacy's underwear are pulled down below her knees of both legs. So she's
so she can see both legs. Yeah.
laying there bloody with her underwear pulled down. This is not a good scene.
Panic.
So Amy Wheeler freaks out, obviously, screams and runs through her own, opens her own door, doesn't go back through the bathroom, opens the previously locked door, runs out into the hallway, just holy shit, oh my God. So she finds Belinda Posey, who's another student there that lives there. Belinda Posey runs in and goes to check on Stacy because Amy Wheeler's like, oh my God, go in there and see if I just saw what I think I just saw or if I'm tripping. Who knows? That could have been a huge hallucination because
it's college. I'm on so many drugs.
That's 2:30 in the morning. She's been out partying all night, so I think she's just like, please make sure that this is real. So Belinda Posey goes in there, which seems logical, and when Posey gets there, the door's locked again. It was. What? Yeah, Amy Wheeler unlocked it and left. So someone had to lock it again from the inside. So that's fucking weird. So she had to go back through the next door neighbor's room again. So French horn girl's got to be like, oh, for Christ's sake, dead people, this one, that one. Yeah. This is bad here because what's going on here? So Posey then goes in. Belinda Posey goes in, looks at Stacy Pinnell and says, oh my God, she's dead and there's blood and her underwear pulled down. This is crazy. So she runs out to go get the dorm mother. I don't know. I guess that's
don't like the way that's
that sounds odd. Dorm mother. I don't know if that's an RA or if that's
a Southern College RA.
I don't know. That's what I mean. Is she an older woman? I picture like a 55-year-old woman who's sitting like knitting something up right now. And there's a knock on the door, and she's like, "What can I do for you, darling?" Oh no, not a dead body. And then she.
Do you like some sweet tea?
I'll bring some sweet tea. All right, I'll be right there. So,
but in likelihood, it's probably a 23-year-old person rather than 22.
The dorm mother. Yeah, that's her. She's Edna Snyder is the dorm mother. She goes to check on Stacy Pinnell. She gets there. The door's locked still. Door's locked, so she doesn't know about the adjoining room, so she just goes and gets a security guard to unlock it for her. And when she gets in there, she opens the door, and now, Stacy's body's still on the bed and everything's the same, except that now Stacy's underwear are only around the calf of one leg. They're fully off the other leg. So what happened to... Yeah, that's really strange. So they call police, obviously, ambulance, police. She's lying on her back on the bed. She had her left leg resting on the bed and her right foot resting on the floor. Like if you kind of flop down on your bed, you know what I mean?
Like when you're drunk and you got the spins and you got to keep
you have one on.
Stop this room from moving.
One leg's up. She's partially covered with like sheets and a blanket, and she is naked from the waist down. Her underwear are pulled down around, hanging off of one leg on her lower left leg. A pillow's been placed over her head. She's got a pillow just sitting on top of her head, but it doesn't look like it was like pressed on her. It looks like it was just placed there,
just covering
as a stage, like a lot of people do when they're, can't have that looking at me after they kill somebody. It's something they're embarrassed about. So there's all of that. She has severe injuries. And they don't see anything till they remove the pillow, and then they see her head, and that's where all her injuries are.
Oh, God.
She has severe injuries to the left side of her head, and there's a shitload of blood on her head, on the pillow. It's just a puddle of blood. It looks like it all happened right here. There's also blood spatter throughout the room on the walls and ceiling as far as 9 feet away from her.
Oh, God.
That's how far the blood has spread. It's fucking everywhere.
This room's only 12 by 12.
It's a dorm room, so they're like, "Holy shit, this is crazy! Like, what could have caused this?" Then they find a wooden drill rifle. That's, that they use for their drill team because Stacy is on the drill team. This is her own drill rifle lying on the floor with a towel wrapped around the barrel end. Like a gangster who goes out to shoot somebody, except it's not a real gun.
Right.
But there's a towel wrapped around it. There's blood all over the stock and the handle of the drill rifle. A hole, and then they look over, so the drill rifle, they're like, well, that looks like something that could have been used to bash somebody's head in.
Right.
Then they see in the room, well, they see this before, but there is, at her window, there is an 8 to 10 inch long cut and an 8 to 10 inch wide section cut out of the screen of the window, and the window's open.
Oh.
Open window, screen cut out, and the dorm room, if you look out the window, it's just an empty field, and this is a ground floor room. And then there's an empty field. So anybody could have come from the empty field and nobody would have seen them because there's literally nothing there. Right. Unless they were staring out the window watching the empty field at the time, nobody would have saw anybody coming or going. So that's kind of frightening, obviously. So they find on her, though, jewelry. She's got a ring on, necklace, all of her stuff, and money in plain sight, in plain view in the room.
So it's not robbery.
So they're like, okay, this can't be a robbery situation. And the Booneville police chief, Bobby Lambert, I run the department up in Booneville. He said that, quote, the girls that stay next to her didn't hear any moaning or anything. It looked like she was in bed when it happened. She could very well have been asleep when this happened.
Oh, my God.
That's what they're looking at. So they get the state crime scene specialist in there, and her name is Julia James. She says she found 4 wooden drill rifles when she examined the room that day. She said a white rifle was found on a pile of clothes near Stacy's bed with blood on the stock and brown and white striped towel wrapped around the barrel. And they said, the window open, and gave kind of all those stats. Yeah. No identifiable fingerprints were found on the bloodied wooden rifle, and so that's not helpful. They said that when they examined the white wooden rifle wrapped in the towel, they found an indication of fingerprints on the stock, but not enough to make an identification. Nowadays, there'd be touch DNA, and they'd find them in 2 seconds, but they can't do that now. So, they didn't know what to do. They did find the state seriologist, the blood guy. He comes in and says that it is Stacy's blood on the rifle stock. So they're assuming that's the murder weapon. So who is this dead young lady here?
And worse, how do you solve this?
How do you solve this? This seems like a real mystery. Did Ted Bundy come in there and, get spooked or something and run away after that? What happened?
Yeah, and there can't be the first one. How are you so good at this?
Totally, right? That's what I mean. This is like a definite serial killer-looking scenario.
Fuck.
So her name is Stacy Diane Pannell, Pannell. She's 18 years old, a freshman here. She just got here. She's been here for 6 weeks. This poor girl.
You can't make an enemy for this in 6 weeks.
6 weeks. She's on scholarship here as well. She's in the band and drill team. She's got at home. She has a younger sister, 3 years younger than her, named Kim. She's got a younger brother named Bradley at the time, who's only 11 years old. Then they're trying to.
You know what instrument she plays? Is she really fucking good at it? And
no,
take somebody's job.
Well, we'll go through her day here. Mm-hmm. I think she's only. I don't think the rifle team is part of the band apparently. So I don't know if she plays an instrument or if that is her only. I think that's what she does. She plays the wooden rifle. That's it. So she spent the evening of October 7th, the night before, that night, with friends, and then went back to the dorm at about 11:15. She was last seen about 12:15 in the hallway of the dorm. That's the last people that saw her. Apparently, she went to classes that day, the day before, went to band practice, did her rifle stuff, and then the junior college band director, Ricky Bishop, said that, quote, she's good at the drill shit, said, quote, I remember one occasion when the team had to learn a difficult routine. She spent about 3 hours outside her dorm room practicing until she got it right. The next day, she came to practice ready. So they said
nailed it.
She's into it. Yeah, she's an achiever. She's here on scholarship.
Yeah.
So that's something. She apparently, after band practice, she changed clothes because she had to go run and play an intramural softball game at that point. Oh. So she's trying to get out there and be active. She's just got here. She's, young.
Getting involved.
Meet people. This is why you're going to college. You know what I'm saying? This is the whole deal here. So she does that, does the softball game. They lost. Her team lost. She hurt her knee in the game.
Yeah,
it was a little limpy.
Sport, man.
It's that intramural softball will get you, man. Especially when you get to second and you got to pump the keg 3 times and then pour the beer. And then you got to go to third. Like, you could pull a hammy doing that. Like, just pulling up, getting there. You got to run smooth,
Putting the bat on your forehead and getting it on the ground and running those 4 circles.
You absolutely can get dizzy.
It's not easy.
Veer off and collapse into the chain link fence. It's happened to the best of us. We have all seen it happen. So she does.
She's going hard though. Clearly, she's earning her scholarship. Yeah,
yeah. She's trying to be a real part of socially. She's trying to make friends. So I guess a couple people helped her back to her dorm room to get changed and everything because her
knee's that bad.
Her knee was that bad. She needed help walking through the halls. So shortly before that though, she went and got pizza. So she hurt her knee, played the game, went and got pizza with a group of friends. And all of that. And then she returned to her dorm room late that night. It's a Monday night, at about 12:30. I told you she was seen last. And they were out drinking. She's pretty hammered. When she comes into the room, she's singing songs and shit. Like, she's pretty...
Right.
She's pretty...
Yeah,
she's pretty drunk. So they ask her family, anybody that could have... enemies you might have heard of, people that are this guy's been looking at me creepy, some leering person, a teacher that's been, extra creepy with her or something.
She's too good with the wooden rifle.
Yeah, her aunt said it's hard to believe that in a building that's with so many girls moving around that nobody heard anything, especially, which is true. It's because this isn't like a strangling. This is a beating. You'd think somebody would have heard something. There's 136 girls in the hall here at Murphy Hall at the junior college here. So that was the night she was killed. There was 136 people in the building killed there. So
that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's what I mean. Nobody out of 136 people heard anything, any commotion. If they were on an upper floor, maybe there would have been footsteps. That might have helped. But on the ground floor, maybe you don't hear as much. So
who knows, though? That Idaho college just recently, 4 people stabbed in the same room. Nobody heard a fucking thing.
That's true.
It's crazy what people can do for muffling shit.
I guess so. And in college, too, I guess half of these people are drunk. They probably have music on, headphones.
The amount of noise has to be crazy.
You don't know what the hell people are doing in their dorms. So people are freaked out by this, though.
Hell yeah.
This is not a normal thing to happen around here. And they all think, holy shit, there's some sick serial, raping murderous running around, going to kill all our young women here.
Yeah, that's what they're capable of.
It's crazy. So, hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Her mother said when they told us that it was Stacy who had been killed, I didn't believe them. She said, I knew they were going to come out to the lobby and tell us that it had just been a mistake and that it was somebody else. I just don't see how anybody could get that mad at her. That's reasonable. They said there's probably there's a lot of her family's big around this area too in the county. She went here for a reason because it's close to home. Oh. They said there's probably more Pinnells around here than there are Smiths. That's how many Pinnells there are. Her dad's name is Wicki.
Oh,
Wicki. Wicki Pinnell.
What's that short for?
I have no idea. Wikipedia. He is. I didn't tell you he's the founder of Wikipedia. He actually started it.
She got Wicca money.
Yeah, people think it's like encyclopedia, but it's not. It's this guy. His name is Ronald Wikipedia, which he's just changed it, made it Wiki.
Trying to lay low, trying to keep people from really,
Wiki Pinnell. No one thinks of Wiki Pinnell as anything, but
it's exhausting.
Ronald Wikipedia. Everybody would be up his ass all the time, asking for loans and things.
Yeah.
So Stacy's sister Kim said that she was fun to be around. She didn't have just one best friend. All of her friends were her best friends. She was that kind of person, very social. Yeah. She loved life, was always trying to help people. The typical, this girl died, and of course she's nice because for some reason people who aren't nice don't get murdered in their dorm rooms. I don't know why that is.
Good point.
Well, I don't know why that is, but it's like they have to go through a list. Is that no? She's kind of a bitch. I'm like, oh, that one's nice. So she was helping at the soup kitchen last weekend. I'm gonna strangle the shit out of her. It seems like that's what happens, though, right?
Single time, it's an amazing person.
And when they describe him, you're like, well, yeah, that all happened. That's true. Right. No one's making this shit up. So yeah, it's just people seem to pick nice people and then attack them. Maybe nice people are more open to letting shitty people in because they're nice and they're trying to find nice things in people. You ever hear that thing? She could find something nice in everybody. That's not a good quality all the time.
No, it's not.
It's not. I have the opposite skill, which I can find what the bad thing is in people, and it's valuable. I think it's helped a lot, right?
I can find the nice in very few people.
Yeah, I mean, if it's prominent, I'll find it eventually. But
yeah.
I'm saying I'm going to definitely look for what's bad first, and then we'll sift through that and see if your good outweighs it.
Why are you a piece of shit and shouldn't be around me right now?
Yeah. So her sister said Stacy was really smart and had scholarship offers from all over the place. The reason she decided to go to Northeast, though, was to be close to Daddy because we already knew he was sick. He has a brain tumor. So she wanted to
fuck out of here.
Yeah, she stay close by so she could see her dad all the time and help him out.
Take Bama to stay here and be close to Dad.
Take him to appointments and stuff. She wanted to live at home and drive every day, but because she was in the band, she had to live on campus. That was like part of the rules, which is that's fair. Her father, Wiki, is a Vietnam veteran with a brain tumor. This poor guy. It's tough, man. She is known throughout her high school as a very sweet, courteous, like achieving student. The principal said the last time I talked to her, she was very excited and looking forward to the future. She could have done anything she wanted to do. They said she participated in a variety of activities, always had a straight A average. She graduated 4th in a class of 83 at Ripley High. And she does well there. She does very well.
I wish people would think more when they speak about the dead. I mean, she
yeah.
could do anything she wanted to. I'll bet she didn't want to die in a fucking dorm, you dummy. Don't say shit like that.
I would think not. For 2 years, she was selected to be in Who's Who Among American High School Students as a publication. I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah. In 1980,
because we weren't Who's Who, James.
I was going to say. And no one I knew would have been who's who either. That's the
No.
other thing. It's not like my friends
Why would
would know anybody. We're all sitting in my one friend's basement smoking a blunt, and one of them's like, "Oh, I just got who's who," and we're like, "Huh? What happened?" That never went on.
James, you're in it.
Oh, wow. Awesome. I failed like 3 classes, though. All right, that's cool. They could see my potential, man. That's what it was. That's what it is. This publication's good, man. Oh, that's terrible.
It's because High Times doesn't publish it.
No, I would have made that list. I would have made the who's who among American high school students in High Times. Absolutely. And I paid off. It would have been they would have been right. Here I am. Doing great for myself. It's all weed-based. So
Unbelievable.
her, on the other hand, actually smart and, industrious.
Yeah.
In 1982, she was crowned senior teen in Tippah County during a, quote, fairest of the fair beauty contest. So she's very smart, very dedicated, sweet as pie. She's taking care of her tumor-ridden Vietnam veteran father, and she's the fairest of the fair as well. She's also the most beautiful girl in the county on top of it. Oh, by the way, when she goes outside, many different songbirds just land on her fingers. But that's who we're talking about.
And on top of that, she's down as fuck and drinks beer. She's
rad. She's cool as shit.
So great.
Knows how to flip a rifle around. She's a cool chick. Her mother said, "You send your kid off to school and you don't expect something like this to happen, especially in a small town like that." Oh, I love it. I love it when they phrase the premise of the show for us. I feel bad for this woman, obviously. I'm not saying that, but it's exactly what it is. At the funeral, I was still thinking they had made a mistake. At the funeral, she was still like, "That's not going to be Stacy in there. That can't be her." So her hometown, they said, people were so outraged by her death that a reward fund was created to help catch the killer. They're making their own reward out of this. Got to be about $8,000 after a couple of weeks here. She liked water skiing and all that kind of shit, fishing, outdoor kind of stuff. She was, really nice girl.
She's awesome. Yeah.
So the investigation here immediately goes completely cold. They have nothing. They check everything out. She's definitely beaten with that. Hole in the screen window open, shrug of the shoulders. Yeah. Nothing. No fingerprints outside of the girls who lived there. So it's there's nothing. They can't find shit. So they don't know if the killer had gloves on or what the deal is, or was very careful. So they're hunting, trying to find the killer here. 15 different investigators work this case. Really? Coming in and out because people get burnt out on it, trying to figure it out. There's no leads. There's just nowhere to go. You just bang your head against the...
Two heads are better than one, obviously, but eventually you get to a point where it's like too many guys in here, too many hands in this pie.
And that's what's going on. And they're just banging their head against a locked dorm door. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing there. They can't do shit. So it's a 2,300 student campus. So they're like, okay, at the time. So they're like, I mean, that's a good place to start, I suppose. Yeah. Anybody she could have come in contact with has to come first. Anybody in all of her classes, anybody on the drill team, anybody on this, who have you seen her with at the pizza place that night? Who'd she talk to? Did she go up to the jukebox and exchange 3 words with a guy? You know what I mean? You never know. So they interview more than 400 students here trying to figure it out, and they have precisely UGATs at the end of 6 months. They have nothing.
Oh my God!
Months are going by. They said one of the investigators said she went to her classes that morning. I've talked to her instructors, but they couldn't tell me much about her because school had just started. They don't really know much about her private life because she just got there. It just started. You're just getting to know everybody. They barely know her name.
They know that it's the first 48 hours, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. It's not the first 48 months because that's kind of what it's lingering on to. The only fingerprints in the room were Stacy's and Amy Wheeler's, the roommate, who was locked out. So they had nothing. No identifiable fingerprints were taken from milk cartons that were placed near her window. I guess milk cartons were up near her window for some reason that looked like they were placed there afterwards. The state crime lab tool mark expert here said that the torn screen found in the window was cut, and he said that he couldn't determine whether it was cut from the inside or the outside or anything like that, obviously, but he said that a piece of the screen was found outside the window that matched the window screen. So everything's looking like this window is the key to the whole thing here. Right. So they interview 400 people. They question dozens of people that they think might be suspects. Anybody with a history of sex offenses in a fucking 50-mile radius they're talking to. So they get it down to 2 suspects. They have 2. The first is a local man with a history of sex offenses. They like him for this. He's had a history, I guess, of entering women's homes and attacking them. So that's this is a place to start. This is his MO. It might have just escalated to the point of now I murder them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the other was Stacy's boyfriend.
Oh, what?
Let's talk about him, too. He had been thinking that she had been unfaithful to him on her trips home from college. I guess when she goes home, this is her college boyfriend.
Yeah, right.
And I guess he's been jealous, and I guess friends of hers said he's a jealous, angry guy. Oh. So that's not good. And the other thing is, during the lie detector test that they gave him, the question if he ever thought about killing her, he failed miserably.
That's not a good question to fail.
That's not good. That's a bad stuff going on here. So obviously,
yeah,
they're honing in on, window pervert,
Sure.
pervert by the moonlight, fucking by the window's moonlight, and this guy and boyfriend here, an angry boyfriend. Maybe they teamed up together. Who knows?
Who knows?
At this point, it seems like they could have, this could be a tag team affair.
Could have been either of them.
So they even had an FBI profile done. They got,
Really?
John Douglas times in there. This is that time. This is Mindhunter time. So they even got them in there, the behavioral science unit, to work up a profile. They have no clue. They just don't know what this is. So the Pennell family said they considered hiring a private detective to do it. Like, if the cops can't do it, we'll fucking fire somebody who maybe can. Right. So the mother said, Stacy's mother said, for a long time, we didn't hear from the police or the school, and people would tell us all sorts of things. They're just hearing rumors. They don't get any facts. No. We were getting upset. Several people have said they would help collect money if we decided to hire a private investigator. Wow. Steve Williams, who's a criminal investigator for the Mississippi Highway Patrol, he said, well, the case has top priority. We're not, skirting responsibility. We're just, there's no evidence.
We're just stumped. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, when I'm not going on other cases, I'm on this one. So this is the one they always come back to. They said, what gets me, besides the fact that it's a crime, is what gives someone the right to take a life. She was not randomly selected. Someone picked her out. That's what he said. He said he's been doing this 15 years. This isn't random. Someone picked her out, and what's going on here? So they said that they said they'll hire. The family said they haven't ruled out any possibilities in trying to figure this out, including consulting a renowned psychic in Alabama. Oh. That's even on the table. They said investigators have conducted all these interviews. Some people they've talked to 3, 4, 5 times. They're collecting more, trying to have the physical evidence. They have the FBI doing a profile. What more could they do? The cop says, we haven't left anything out. We're doing everything we humanly know what to do. We're waiting for a break. It's tough. School officials said, quote, we're helping out in every way we can, and the investigation is still going on. Nobody can find shit. That's all it is. They said security has increased dramatically since then in the school. The night Stacy was killed, there was a security guard on duty making patrols, and they said that now a female guard walks the dorm halls all night. They have an all-night female guard, and men are on duty all night outside the other women's dorms. So now they have females inside and men outside, just in case the security guard decided to go squirrely here. They said, quote, there's just no such thing as the perfect crime. This is the investigator. No such thing as the perfect crime. If you keep looking long enough, you're going to come upon a mistake that they made. They have to have made a mistake. We just have to find it. So
that's
they can't.
Very optimistic.
I would say after 11 months, there's no mistake. They can't find shit.
So eat your words, sir.
So they bring in Steve Rhodes, who is, what do you think he is? Who do you think he is?
Steve is the game warden.
The game warden, the
ambulance driver.
So they bring him in special.
Yeah.
So you imagine he's like an FBI, hired guy, a big time, one of John Douglas's guys, one of those guys. They're going to bring in a big hired gun. On our show, though, you just know it's going to be the local school cafeteria inspector they're going to bring in just in case.
It's a guy he's a pool inspector.
Yeah. No, he is the police chief of the East Hazel Crest, Illinois Police Department.
States are between this.
Yeah, and also, where the fuck is that? This isn't,
right.
Who are you? Well, apparently, he's a big-time lecturer at seminars for law enforcement about personnel, teaching them about special interrogation techniques known as neuro-linguistic programming. Now, this is basically body language shit.
Yeah, so he came through like Holden and
kind
Tench,
of,
and they were like, "Hey, can you have a look at this for us?"
They invited him. They called him because he's a guy who makes speeches everywhere about this particular way of talking to people. And this is just like if you watch the behavior panel on YouTube, it's all the shit they're talking about. It's body language stuff. So they said they don't have enough evidence to even have a solid suspect other than one failed lie detector test question. Yeah. So they bring him in. The town he's the police chief of, by the way, is a 1,300 person town, tiny town. Probably has
they have the budget to have this guy on staff?
Apparently he's just really good and likes to do that. So he talks to a bunch of people, and he wants to talk with the people closest. He wants to talk to Amy Wheeler, who found the body. He wants to talk to the neighbor who let her in because she's I guess technically the second person to see the body. Wants to talk to Belinda Posey, boyfriend, sex offender, all these guys, right? So they talk to Stephanie Alexander, who's the next door roommate there. She'd been questioned like 5 times as far as did you hear anything at certain times? And because she's the closest physically to the room, they were thinking maybe she would have heard something and just forgot about it.
She was there when it happened.
Yeah. So, because she was home that night. So they question her, and Rhodes talks to her, and Rhodes tells her that he ruled out the sex offender as a suspect, and he tells everybody. The sex offender guy, he's not our guy. It's not him. Haven't ruled out the boyfriend yet, though. He's up next for a talk because he's the guy who failed the lie detector question. So Stacy, they told him, she's not Stacy, the roommates, Stephanie, the next door neighbor, Stephanie Alexander. They tell him that, she's the next door neighbor, sweet mate, blah, blah, blah. So Rhodes asked Stephanie simple questions. What is her name? What's her address? Telephone number, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, your normal stuff. As she answered, he's watching what she does. Finally, he said at the time, each of her answers, her eyes twitched to the left before she answered. That's her. So that's what you're doing is
filing cabinets.
What you're doing is getting baseline because everybody does it in different ways. For different information, you'll recall it, and you'll recall looking to different sides, but not everybody looks to the same side for the same information. It's one of those things. Yeah. Like if I ask you, what is next to that? What's next to the Walmart closest to your house? Is there a McDonald's there?
Oh my God! I went left and left. I did it.
Okay.
I literally did it. It's a Burger King.
How do I get there from your house? You look the other way.
Yeah.
Because your brain processes that differently.
How is that?
Because your brain has to process that, whereas the other one you're recalling a memory, whereas this one you're working through it. So there's different tricks like that, and you can just see. Okay, now when you access information, your eyes go here. When you do this, they go there. Simple. Yeah. These are simple little things that you can do.
I'm bizarre.
No, it's
murderer.
It's normal. It's totally normal. For any way your eyes go, it doesn't matter. Like it's just they're going to go different ways for different information.
But they all go up. That's so weird.
Sometimes some people
anybody ask me anything, I'm going up.
Emotional accessing is down. If I said, Jimmy, tell me about the time that your stepfather beat you up when you were fucking blah 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 when you were a little kid. Your eyes are going to go down for that. You're going to access that down because that's where emotional information is, down and to the right for the most part. Yeah,
I don't like that one.
Exactly. That's where that stuff is. It's down and
back on it.
It's down and to the right. That's where the bad stuff is to the most part. The most part with people. So, see what I mean? So, he said her eyes twitched to the left. Then he asked her at one point, "Can you speculate how Stacy may have been killed?" And he said her eyes went to the right on that point. Now, like I said, this is going off baseline responses, and the first questions are memory questions that are ingrained in you. You know your birth date without really thinking about it too much. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Rhodes said, quote, she said she didn't know. He said, who do you think had an opportunity to kill Stacy? And Stephanie said she didn't know. He said, but her eyes moved to the right again. So he says, well, what do you suppose the motive was? Same thing. Her eyes moved right. She said she didn't know. So he said he got his questions more specific. And he said, where were you on that night? You, quote, you said you were asleep at the time of the attack. What time did you go to sleep? And he said her eyes darted right before she could answer the question. And in the middle of the question, he said, quote, don't tell me that, Stephanie. It's not true.
Oh, my God.
So,
fuck, that's vicious.
Yeah. And he said, you said you took a shower. Why? That's the next question.
Oh, my God.
He said her eyes looked to the right again. And he said, damn it, Stephanie, before she even answered, because she was about to talk. And he said, damn it, Stephanie, you're going to make that up. I want the truth. And they did this for 2 hours. Every time her eyes would move a certain way, he would cut her off and not even let her finish. And he'd go, you know you're full of shit right now. Stop. Don't even finish that fucking thought. So, which is a crazy way. That's when you're interrogating, I guess, from what I understand, because obviously I'm not an interrogator, but you got to figure out what your relationship with this person is. And he's chosen father-daughter. I'm going to fucking, you're a kid that I've made sit down, and I'm going to take you out behind the woodshed and tell you that you've broken the lamp and you did all this shit.
The trash, Stephanie.
Yeah, that's how he's decided to approach this. So he would cut her off and, tell her she's full of shit every time. Each time her eyes moved another way, he would let her talk. He'd encourage her. He'd act like he believed her. So now the other cops are looking on like, what the fuck is happening right now? Is he full of shit? Is he just taking stabs at it? At one point, she stopped, and she was all flustered after he'd cut her off on like 4 or 5 different questions. And she said, quote, you can read my mind, can't you? So if you're the cop,
sold.
If you're the interrogator and she thinks you have mystical powers, you let her think that shit.
Yeah,
because that means, he said, yes, I can. So he then says eyes move, he didn't say this to her. Later on, he said eyes move in patterns. They move differently when you're remembering and when you're creating. And that's what I'm talking about. And when you're creating, you're talking to me about a crime, you're lying. Because that means that's your creative side. You go here, you look over here, putting something together.
Making things up.
Yeah. If you watch, what's his name? Chris, the fucking Colorado guy. We did the episode about
Chris
him.
Watts, yeah.
Chris Watts. If you look at Chris Watts' thing, he is a mess on this. His eyes are fucking...
It's my favorite thing I've ever watched.
Wow, is he wild. So he goes through
his exhaustion of like, why don't you believe me?
Come on, guys. Jeez, man. So he's Rhodes is continuing to talk to her, and he's using his neuro-linguistic programming with the eyes, just body language, whatever shit. He said a lot of times he would go into this and he said, quote, I was investigating a lot of child abuse and incest. I was trying to get a way to deal with the victims. I saw this as a means of developing a rapport fast. The Steve Williams, who's the initial investigator, who said he's been doing it 15 years. He said, watching him was amazing. There was no special equipment, no chicanery. It was just 2 people talking one-on-one. Basically, what you've got is a human polygraph, and that's better than the machine.
Yeah. You didn't
so
put a helmet on her.
Stephanie cracks and says, I killed her.
Oh, my God. What?
I killed Stacy. I did it. Yes. She confesses to it. She said they got in an argument over a guy. They were talking and arguing, and Stephanie doesn't remember it all because she was on a lot of codeine and she was drinking too. But they were drunk and they got into it, and then we'll let her describe it because she writes it all down in a letter to her boyfriend she's been seeing for a week because that's what you do.
Fuck.
She's a criminal mastermind. She wrote an 11-page letter to Randy Price, who's her week-in boyfriend, where she confessed to everything, describes everything. She said, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. She explained that she'd been heavily into, she was seriously doing a lot of codeine. She had a mental block about the killing. She hadn't been able to remember killing Parnell, up until now, but now she had a nightmare about it, and it must have been how it happened. So she
Pennell,
said,
right?
Pennell.
Yeah.
She said that she was doing homework. This is Stephanie's story here. On October 7th in her room, took 3 codeine tablets sometime between 9 and 10:30.
That's a lot.
That's some because of pain from an ovarian infection.
Ouch.
Which sounds painful. I'm not sniping. She said she had been out earlier in the evening playing cards and visiting friends, including a boy named Tommy Osborne.
Oh.
She said she walked back to her dorm alone to do homework. She said she dozed off after taking the codeine, woke up about 12:30 when she heard Stacy, Pennell, and some other girls returning home in the adjacent room. The girls were helping Stacy get into her room because she had a bad knee and was drinking. So drunk and limping is bad.
Oh, God. Drunk and in pain. And
in pain.
The thing she must have been screaming.
Stephanie said she heard Stacy say, quote, "Tommy O is so fine, I could fuck his brains out."
There's the booze talking.
That's the booze. Tommy O is so fine, I could fuck his brains out. That's just an 18-year-old drunk kid who's horny. I said way worse shit than that. So good for her. She kept it PG as far as I'm concerned. So Stacy asked them to be quiet, and then the girls who were helping, Stephanie, the French horn girl next door, asked them to be quiet. They all left Stacy behind in her room, and there you go. Alexander here, Stephanie Alexander, couldn't fall back asleep even with the codeine buzz, so she went into Stacy's room to talk. See what she's up to.
Say about Mr. Osborne.
That's right. So Stephanie asked Stacy if she had fun that night. Stacy Pennell says yes, she did. They talked about Tommy Osborne, whom Stacy has been dating recently since she got here. Yeah. They also talked about a boy who Alexander had been dating as well at the time. They talked about Tommy Osborne again, came back to him, and Stacy Pennell asked Stephanie Alexander what she thought about Tommy. And Alexander said she thought he was fine.
Yeah.
So Stacy Pennell tells Stephanie, quote, "You better stay the hell away from him. I'm tired of you and your fucking room." Whatever that means. I'm tired of you and your fucking room.
Okay.
Stacy was standing in front of a mirror and pointed her finger in Alexander's face, is what Stephanie said. So Stephanie mentioned Tommy Osborne again, and Stacy Pennell slapped Alexander and called her a bitch. She said, bitch. She gave her like a soap opera slap. Bitch, pop. Gave her a Susan Lucci. Just a good boom.
Really let her have it.
Really let her have one there. So Stacy then told Stephanie, quote, "I better not see you hanging out around him. I'll kill you. Do you hear me? I'll kill you." That's what Stacy said.
Hyperbole,
yeah. So again, and then she slapped her again. "I'll kill you." Slap. So she's like Sammy the Bull Gravano. She turned into. She turned into like a member of the Lucchese family in 2 seconds, like a Gambino member immediately. You hear what I'm saying? Psh, I fucking kill you. By the way, I want $50 a week from now on protection. This is crazy.
Giving her a what for? Jesus.
So Stephanie then wrote that Stacy then put her hands around her throat. She was getting choked, Stephanie said. So Stephanie said she kicked her to get her away, and Stacy fell onto the bed and then started to get up back towards Stephanie and attack her. So she said that Stephanie said that she had been just hanging out in the room twirling Stacy's drill rifle while they were talking and had laid it back down against the bed. But at that point, Stephanie said she picked up the drill rifle and hit Stacy with it, bashed her. She said Stacy fell onto the bed and then got back up and started toward Alexander again, calling her a fucking bitch, which she just hit me with a drill rifle. You are a fucking bitch now. Right. So Alexander said she hit Stacy again with the drill rifle. Stacy fell back on the bed, and Stephanie said she then hit her 3 more times with the drill rifle for some reason.
Okay. None of that happened.
No. Well, I mean, all the hitting happened, but just not like that. Yeah. You fucking bitch, pop, and slapping her in the face now. She's
justifying her actions right now.
Oh, she's starting to say it's self-defense. She could have killed me in there. A limping, drunk 18-year-old who's small. She said that she was out of it, Stephanie, because of all the codeine and didn't know what to do. She said the rifle fell out of her hands and she locked the door to the hall. That's why it was locked. She washed her hands in the sink and put a pillow over Stacy's head because, she's not a fucking, she's not Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She then said she got a steak knife that Stacy had borrowed from her out of the drawer and cut the screen so the scene would look like somebody came through the window. Then she pulled Stacy's panties down so it would look like a rape.
What
as well.
the fuck?
Yeah, she wanted it to look like guy broke in and raped her, which is exactly what everybody thought. Guy broke in, tried to fucking... So
this bitch is frightening, James.
This is terrifying.
Yeah.
She then wiped off that part of the drill rifle and wrapped it in a towel. Then she went and took a bath, burned the part of the screen she cut out and the T-shirt she'd been wearing when she killed Stacy. She burned all of this and then flushed the remaining debris down the toilet and used Amy Wheeler, Stacy's roommate's perfume to mask the smoke odor, sprayed it all over the room.
Wow.
That's what she did. Then she went back in her room and went to sleep. Got back in bed and went to sleep. That is
old bitch.
Gangster. Fucking gangster. So there's a lot of that. She ended up retelling her story to two other police officers, the letter and Steve Rhodes. So they said the investigation was very frustrating, but this recent developments, they hope they can get it going. So 1987, they're going to have a trial for her finally. They do. They're trying to get the confession thrown out. That's the thing. They want the confession thrown out for some reason, even though there's multiple confessions and letters and all this type of shit. So the judge said, quote, this is about publication of a newspaper. I would observe that frequently newspaper or magazine or other publications are inaccurate for that reason. They printed part of what she said in the newspaper in the Chicago Tribune and in January of 87. And they're trying to say that it was hearsay that's damaged the jury pool, so it shouldn't be allowed in. But they're saying, but the confession's fine. The confession ends up being in. Okay. Her defense is that their only thing is maybe Stephanie wasn't physically capable of inflicting those kind of wounds with the rifle. She's a small girl, so she's not capable. By the way, she's also pregnant now during the trial.
Oh.
Yeah, because she got out on bail immediately before going up to trial, so she's now pregnant in the trial as well.
Is it Tommy Osborne's?
Let's hope not. Let's really, really hope not. So Amy Wheeler testifies that she, what happened, she called Stephanie to see the body, and Stephanie ran in and ran to the door. She must have locked it again, which was weird, and then she came down. It was locked again.
That is weird.
Yeah, because she was trying to clean up in there. They had a defense psychiatrist come in and say that, okay, this confession is bullshit because Stephanie was hypnotized. Now, Steve Rhodes didn't hypnotize her, but Stephanie's very easily hypnotized, and that she had been hypnotized a year before, and it just kind of stuck. It never really came out of it.
Really
so
off his face.
She's been in the trance for about a year, and that's the problem. That's their defense.
She's bringing fish in and gutting it on the desk.
It's so weird. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's singing, "Damn, it feels good to be a gangster." I don't know what the fuck's happening. So that's their defense, which is a pretty fucking ridiculous defense, obviously. Yeah. So the verdict comes in January 5th, 1988. She is found guilty after only 3 hours of deliberation.
Right.
Found guilty. She freaks out. They revoke her bond. She starts to scream and cry hysterically, kick and swing her arms, saying, I didn't kill her. And then she slumps onto the floor and just throws herself onto the floor like a 5-year-old who's out of gas. So they took her to the hospital and sedated her, is what they did at that moment in time.
Give her more codeine.
Yeah. They're going to hold her in jail till her sentencing here. So she is sentenced to, you, young lady, may fuck off 20 years in prison for manslaughter.
20 to life? Or just
20 years. 20.
What?
Yeah. At the time, she could do way less here. So the jurors said, seriously, the girl Stephanie Alexander and Stacy Pinnell, they met at the wrong time. One crossed the other one at the wrong time, and in the heat of passion, one is dead. I fully believe that Stephanie Alexander didn't mean to go that far, but she blew up in the heat of passion. That's the jury foreman said that. That's why.
Fuck, man.
That's why it's manslaughter. So she's sentenced, but she appeals, and somehow this never happens in a murder case. This is like a white-collar crime. The judge lets her out on bond pending appeal.
Oh, my God. Pending
Okay?
appeal.
Pending appeal. So, till the appeal comes back and they say, no, yes, this is good. Now you have to go to prison. She's out. So this goes on for 4 years.
She's out doing her life.
Out doing her life. Her appeal fails in 1992.
Okay.
Finally. And then she actually has to go to jail at that moment. So she has her first parole hearing, 1996. 4 years. 4. She's
Maybe
denied.
It's a woman's world.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, if she had a 5 o'clock shadow and a surly look on her face, I feel like she's not getting out
getting
for
life.
the appeal because she's a dangerous maniac, which I still think she might be.
Oh, yeah.
1996, that's the first parole denied. 1999,
No.
She was sentenced before the 85% rule went into effect. So she's sentenced on the old guidelines, which means she can get out very early at that moment. The family's getting everybody they can to write letters saying, bullshit, she can't let her out. If she had been sentenced after 94, she would have had to serve at least 17 years. 1999, parole denied. Okay. 2001, though, released from prison.
Wow.
9 years? 9 years she did total,
Holy
including
shit.
earlier. So she's out there. She's out and about now. She even did an article. She talked to somebody. It's fucking crazy. She said that she's maintained her innocence this entire time, Stephanie. Her name now is Stephanie Loudon, and she puts that out publicly.
Some dude married her.
Her name's Stephanie Loudon, or she just changed it.
Yeah.
Who knows? She's maintained her innocence always, stating she was coerced into the confession in some sort of hypnotic, trance, I suppose. And because the investigators were frustrated and had an unsolved case. I feel like they would have blamed the boyfriend if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because
Or
he's the
sex
easiest
offender.
sell.
The sex offender's the
that's
easiest.
easy. Look at him.
Jesus.
Look at his rock hard dick. Look at this guy. They said, having said that, Stephanie Loudon, as she's known today, seems to be doing much better. Oh, good for her. Yeah. She runs her own business in the music field and enjoys spending time with her family. From what we can tell, she still lives and operates her business out of Mississippi. So watch out, Mississippi.
James,
there you go.
If it wasn't her, then how did the fucking legs get changed?
That's what I'm saying. How'd the underwear come off? How did all that?
Her.
She told the whole story. She did it. She told the story. She did it. It's disturbing as shit, but she did it. I don't know why she did it. I don't know if it was we can't know motive of college kids at 2:30 in the morning when they're drunken on codeine. Who the fuck knows? One of them stole the other one's Tiger Beat with Michael J. Fox on the cover, and they just freaked out. I have no goddamn idea. Either way, I don't think anyone expected that as the outcome of this case. So what a fucking crazy story. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If so, hey, tell you what, whatever app you're on, give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. Say something nice about the show. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Get your tickets to all the live shows. Top of the show, we did a full rundown. Full 2023 schedules up there. Can't wait for you to come out and see us there. Follow us on social media so you can get like the pre-sale code and all that. We're at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Murder Small on Twitter. Do all of that. Also, patreon.com/crime and sports, $5 or above. Whole back catalog, 150 episodes, new ones every other week. 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. You get access to it all this week. The accusations of Ben Roethlisberger, some very creepy, weird dick stuff that you're going to want to hear about. It's disgusting, absolutely gross. For small town murder, the prisoner dating game is back. Let's find Jimmie some violent felons and get him on the next episode of Love After Lockup. Season 45 is going to be Jimmie Whisman with some horrible, horrible person. Let's get him in there. Oh, we can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all that. Do that. Follow us on social media. Just go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Links are all there. Thank you so much, everybody. Can't wait to see you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving and all that. Until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye, Stephanie.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.